Meet Sally Horner. So in 1948, she was 10 years old and in the 5th grade. And one day, the popular girls dared her to go into the Woolworths and steal a notebook that cost 5 cents. This prank changed this little girl's life forever because you see, there was an adult that saw her take the notebook. This is Frank LaSalle. Or maybe his name is Frank Johnson. Or maybe his name is Frank O'Keefe. Or maybe his name was Frank Warner. He had a lot of aliases. Whoever he was, he saw Sally that day taking the notebook, and he approached her and he told her that she was under arrest. He told Sally that he was an FBI agent and that she was in big trouble, and that if she did not report in with him periodically, he was going to send her to reform school. Sally was terrified. She listened to him because he's an adult, right? We're supposed to trust the adults. Now that incident happened in March 1948. Let's fast forward to June 1948, and Frank comes upon Sally again and tells her that she needs to come with him. So Sally was instructed to tell her mom that he was the father of one of her classmates and that she had been invited to a vacation in Atlantic City. So the trip was only supposed to be a week long, but he had Sally write letters to her mother saying that the trip was being extended. Sally was gone for well over a month. And then on July 31st, the letters stopped. This is Ella, Sally's mom. Now, she was a widow. Her husband had lost his life to suicide several years earlier. Being a single mother in the 1940s would have been a very, very difficult life. And when she realized that her baby girl was missing, she panicked. She called the police. The police went to the address where the letters were coming from, there in Atlantic City, and they found an empty room with suitcases. And there was a photo there. This photo, actually, of Sally in a white dress on a swing, and Ella did not recognize this photo. She had never had this photo taken of her daughter. She didn't understand. Can you imagine finding a photo of your child that you'd never seen before? She completely panicked. So where was Sally? For the next 21 months, Frank and Sally traveled throughout the United States using various aliases and posing as father and daughter. He even enrolled her in school. She was a student at various different schools, Catholic schools, I might add, and she told everyone whatever name Frank was telling her to pass herself off as. Frank sexually assaulted Sally and kept a gun on him at all times, making her terrified to try to escape from him. Frank LaSalle was a very, very dangerous man. He had an extensive record that included rape, bigamy, hit and run, assault and battery, check fraud, indecent assault. He was incredibly dangerous, and this little girl was in his grasp. So let's fast forward to April 1949. The two are in Dallas, Texas, doing their fake father-daughter act, and there is a neighbor next door named Ruth. We're going to count on women's intuition here because Ruth knew that there was something up with this. She knew something was going on with this whole thing. She knew it wasn't right. Now, Ruth tried to get Sally to open up, but Sally would not open up. She was terrified, of course, of Frank, right? So Ruth and her family actually move out to California, and they end up inviting Frank and Sally to come out with them because there were job opportunities out there. One day while they're in California, while Frank is out looking for work, our sweet Sally just could not contain her secret anymore, and she told Ruth everything. Ruth helps Sally make her very first long-distance phone call to call her mother, and she tries to call her mom, but the phone line is disconnected. Her mother had lost her job as a seamstress, and she was unable to pay her phone bill, so her phone was disconnected. Then Sally remembers that she can call her sister. She calls her sister. Her brother-in-law answers. Help is on the way. Next thing you know, the police show up, and they rescue our sweet Sally, and she's reunited with her mother. When Frank was arrested, he told the police that he was Sally's father. He said, "I'm her dad." And the police said, "Actually, sir, her father is deceased." And that's when he confessed and told them that, yeah, he was guilty. Is it me, or does this story sound familiar? Young girl abducted by a creepy old man, traveling cross country. I've heard of this before. Where have I heard of this before? If any of this sounds familiar, it's because it's the plot of the very famous novel by Vladimir Nabokov, Lolita. Now, Sally was abducted in 1948. Lolita was published in 1955. I just told you the real life inspiration for Lolita, which, by the way, Nabokov denied like his entire life that he was influenced by this story. This story was all over the news, all over the world. He denied it his whole life. Nabokov even references Sally in the novel. He says this in chapter 33. He says, "Had I done to Dolly perhaps what Frank LaSalle, a 50-year-old mechanic, had done to 11-year-old Sally Horner in 1948, he literally says her in the novel. Sally never got the opportunity to tell her own side of the story or even talk about what she thought about the novel Lolita because she passed away sadly at age 15 in a car accident. If y'all want to learn more about Lolita and about Sally Horner, you need to read this book, The Real Lolita, The Kidnapping of Sally Horner, and the novel that scandalized the world. Have you guys read this? It's pretty good.